Live will be very short because I don't have that much time before I have to leave. But I hope that my sound is good because I just don't have time to put together a video and do all this editing and different stuff. So I have to make sure I kind of get some lives in soon, fam. But either way, fam, today I want to simply talk about all the change that Africa is currently going through right now in the different African countries. And more so, I want to talk about Tanzania. I'm going to touch on Tanzania, but I want to talk about what I've been noticing across Africa, even in West Africa, and even in a lot of countries in East Africa. So for the past couple of years, it's been a lot of movement. A lot of African Americans, a lot of Black Caribbeans, and Black Brits. A lot of people have been moving to Africa or traveling and repatriating. The biggest thing I think that people state that they move for is that reconnection with the motherland, and that is a good reason to go back to reconnect. But I want to touch on something today because it's so many people moving away from Africa. They're saying they leave in Africa for family, they leave in Africa because of laws, they leave in Africa because of money, they leave in Africa because, it's just too hard for them. And I just want to say, like, how do we expect the Most High to like take us to that next level if we're not willing to fight and build and just, hunker down and hold tight? So either way, I got some points that I'm gonna try to stick to. So that reconnection point the main reason why a lot of us move back, we say we want to reconnect with the motherland. If we want to reconnect so badly, how is it that one little thing can create a disconnect and we just hate the country, or it just seems too hard? I just think about the stuff that we went through in our first year in Tanzania, and we could have just given up like right then. We could have given up that first time we had any kind of bump in the road. We could have given up, but we didn't. We just pushed on because we knew that we were moving to East Africa for a greater purpose. We were moving because we wanted to build something for the future, and we also had family and friends who like supported us and was motivating us and encouraging us. And we know that the Most High like really put that on their heart to support us. So we knew that we had a lot invested. So we knew that moving to Africa, we was not coming back easily. Like, we was not trying to give up. And I feel like, me personally, I would not be back in the U.S. if it wasn't for me just trying to move outside of the plan. Like, I originally had a plan in my mind, and I said, hey, I'm gonna stick to this plan. But it was uncomfortable for me to picture myself coming back to work here because I said I was done with that. But because I'm at a working age, you can't work in Africa. It's hard to say that you're gonna be there with your family and not, have income coming in. So for the most part, when people move back to reconnect, they either are retiring or they already have people on the ground that's gonna help them set up or establish, their living situation. So it's opportunities in East Africa. It's a lot of opportunities. It's opportunities in agriculture. It's opportunities in just investing in big time real estate. Now, to touch on Tanzania, because I just watched a good video by Jules on the Run. It was so good. It inspired me to do my live because she hit on some good points, and it just kind of hit home for me because, she mentioned that she understands what the president in Tanzania is doing as far as like creating these new laws and restrictions for foreigners. And she kind of hit on a point with the Chinese and how the Chinese were coming in and taking all of the local jobs that the local people normally do, and they were giving the people a cheaper price because, in China, from China, they're shipping most of their goods directly to Tanzania, and the Chinese have good connections. So they're able to establish and set up those small time businesses in those different sectors and thrive, but they're not helping the economy and they're not helping the local people. So the new laws that a lot of people are stressing about. So many people sent the article to me about the 15 areas that the president restricted for foreigners because it's small business sectors, because they want people that are coming into the country as foreigners to invest in big business. So they would rather you come in and do big business versus coming in and doing just small time shops and little businesses like that. So they do the same thing in America. You know, they require you to come in and do a certain business, like a big investment, in order to get a certain visa. So the point she made with that, it just kind of let me know, like, African Americans, we don't push hard enough. Like, we don't go hard enough, and we're not going hard enough in Africa. We're not pushing hard enough to get back there to establish something. You know, somebody have to push forward past these laws. Somebody have to push forward past all the trials and tribulations that we're going through. It's families there that I know that are pushing through. And shout out to y'all for doing things, you know, outside of, you know, the spotlight. You know, I know a lot of families don't have YouTubes and they're not highlighting everything. And we only highlight certain things. But there's families that are pushing through some of the trials that a lot of people are running from. And I know these people, you know, I know some people personally, and I know some people just off of YouTube, that they go through something in Africa, something bad happens, and they leave and they say, I never want to go back. And that's what we have to stop doing. You know, it's a big reason why the Most High laid it on our heart to go to Africa. There is something there. The enemy knows that is something there for us to build on. And the enemy knows that's part of our inheritance, that's part of our ancestry land. So it's important for us to get back. So it's no reason why we should give up just because we go through some trials. Because we go through a lot of trials in America, yet we still here. We don't run away from here. So many bad things happen to African Americans in America. We killed every day, murdered every day, but yet we don't run up out of here. You know, we lost my brother in 2010 because a cop, you know, he murdered my brother, and that could have been a reason for us to run up out of here in 2010. But a lot of people wasn't moving to Africa in 2010. You know, it wasn't a trending thing. You know, we go through so many traumatic things in America, but yet we stay. We stay in the land of our oppressor. But yet when we go to African country and it's a language barrier, our people they're trying to get tips from us. We frustrated. You know, we got to pay a little bit more than other people. We frustrated. Well, I would rather pay a little bit more than lose my life or risk my life every day. I think about this as a black man every day when I leave my house, when I leave for work. I think about rather I'm going to come home to my family. I could just cry thinking about it, because the thought of leaving my family, my daughters and my son, it disturbs me that every day of my life I have to leave my house and I have to think about rather I'm going to come home, not because I'm sick, not because I drive recklessly, not because I do risky things, simply because I'm going to Walmart or if I'm going to Publix. Am I going to run into, you know, a racist person, or am I going to be pulled over by a racist cop who just want to profile me because of my dreads? It blows my mind the trauma that we deal with in this place, the stress that we deal with in this place in the U.S., but yet we stay here. And then yet we go to Africa and we deal with just, you know, a landlord trying to get extra $100 from us, or, you know, a driver trying to get an extra $20 from us, or, you know, we have to go to the government and pay an extra $200. But they're not trying to kill us. They're not trying to murder us. They're trying to get us to come back and invest. It's almost like Tanzania or East Africa is our teacher or our professor, but we going against the professor because the course is hard. The course is hard, y'all. This is an advanced course. If you want the degree, you have to really push yourself to do it. You have to study. You have to round up people to help you. You have to create a group, a support group. You can't just give up just because just because one new law or two new laws and it don't look, favorable. I love Jules on the Run. I love her. I've been watching her channel for a while and I love what she say, but I disagree with her saying that if she wasn't married to a Tanzanian, she would be out of Tanzania or she would be out of Africa. I feel like that's ye of little faith, like faith over fear. We have too much fear. We have too much fear. Shalom, Sister Georgia. I miss Tanzania too. I miss it so much. Like every day I want to go back. I just want to leave my job right now and go. And I even joke with my staff too. I always tell them like, man, I'm ready to go right now. Y'all know where I want to go. Like y'all know I want to be. I'm here. I do love teaching. I do. But being here in this place, like it does something to you. Like it drains you every day. It drains you. Like, I was listening to this, and I'm sorry, I'm just jumping on this. I was listening to this nutritionist, and he was talking about the levels of stress, even the little stress that we don't even think about day to day. Normal person, an average person, not a black person or a person of color. The normal stresses that a human deals with day to day, it takes off days and minutes of their life, not knowing, like running late to work, somebody stress you out at work, somebody cut you off in the traffic, and your heart rate is heightened and you dealing with some kind of stress. That is not healthy. But I thought about this. I'm like, well, if anybody have any sense, they know that people of color, especially African American people of black descent, we deal with 3 to 4 times as much stress as the average person. There's so many studies out, y'all. Y'all can get on and find so many scholar articles about the amount of stress that we deal with. It is crazy. No other race of people can deal with the amount of stress that black people deal with here in America. No one. So why are we even considering not going back to Africa? I don't understand this whole movement. I swear people jump on the first bandwagon of negativity. Like anything that's negative. Yes, we got to pay a little bit more. Yes, we have to do big business in Africa. We can't go to Africa trying to do no little small businesses. Yes, we have to come together eventually as a group. And yes, we had some people in our own community that were scamming and doing wrong things to people. And I love how Jules highlighted, like you can't be doing things for people that's outside of, that's not legal. Or you got to go the legal route when you go to these countries because you put yourself at more of a risk to get in trouble. Now, I don't believe in people putting themselves at risk in these countries trying to do favors for people. No, make everybody go to the government and do everything legit. But despite having to do all those things, it still outweighs, the benefit still outweighs being here in America. Your benefits of being in an African country, for the average person who haven't lived for an extended period outside of the country, they don't understand what I mean. I never lived in another country before prior to a year ago. This is my first experience, and it's like a whole nother level. It's like the Most High always wanted that for us. Like we always spoke that into existence. I feel like we use our words to speak that into existence because we always wanted to live in Africa. My family, I'm speaking for my immediate family, and some of my close friends, they always want to travel and live there. So yes, unity. I mentioned that a little bit. We have to come together and be in agreement on what we want. But we also have to have the expectation that we're going to deal with some issues. We're going to deal with some trials. We're going to deal with a lot of road bumps and a lot of road blocks. People are going to literally try to block the road. The enemy going to send different people to attack you. Going to send different YouTubers to attack you. They're going to send people to try to scam you. It's going to happen. So just be expecting it. Like roll with the punches, they say. Like keep going, keep going. So this other thing is perspective. If you are looking at things negatively, if you already have a negative outlook on Africa, you're not gonna be open to moving there and seeing yourself living there and making it work. Because you already got this bad mind. And a lot of us do have a bad mind. I had a bad mind about Africa when I moved there. When I first traveled there, I'm like, man, I'm gonna just try not to get sick. I was like, I'm only gonna eat fruit. Man, the first 2 days I was eating fried fish, rice, ugali. I was eating everything. And I wasn't eating it from the street, but I was going to restaurants. I was eating everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is Africa. Like, I remember in my first video, I was like, this is Wakanda. Like, I see all these people thriving. I see all these people moving, people up early working. So we got this bad mind. It's all about perspective. So just keep in mind that all African countries have pros and cons. You're going to have the positives. Some African countries, they speak a lot of English. They make business easy for you. You can buy land in your name and not a business. You don't have to invest a lot. Yes. But then some of the cons with those African countries, the land is super high. You know, everything is super expensive. The government is not really lenient when it comes to like you and your family coming in. It's different things you have to look into. So for the most part, East African countries seem to be, to me, based off what I'm seeing in the YouTube world and like people that I know personally, East Africa is one of those hidden gems of Africa, because what's popular is West Africa, going to Ghana, going over to Nigeria. People love that. People always run to that direction. But East Africa, you see the Chinese, the Indian, the Asian, all of them. Well, I don't know, I just named some people that's all in the same group, but don't mind that. All of those people they discovered East Africa, and they see the beauty, they see the opportunities, they see how powerful agriculture is there. They can see past all the issues. We just see the language, these people speaking a different language, we already mad. Why they ain't speaking English? Why they speaking Swahili? People they don't have to accommodate everything for us. Like, it's time for us to do the work. It's time for us to like excel in this course. I really want to see us excel, like on a real tip, like not like this fake YouTube success. Cause a lot of people got this YouTube success, and I'm looking at y'all like, I've been in Africa. I don't see nothing that y'all have, and that's not me hating. It's just like y'all capping. A lot of y'all YouTubers are capping. Like, for real, it's so bad. Like y'all have gotten so good at it. Y'all serpents. Some of them YouTubers are serpents. But I'm gonna get off that. So I want to talk about, fam, resilience. So we have overcome so many things as a people. We can overcome moving to Africa. It is not that hard for us. I'm telling you, at some points I just really want to get more people involved in the things that me and my family are doing. But then I have to be hesitant because, for one, my family ain't really open to doing that. That'll be something that I'll be on my own doing. And another thing, a lot of us just got this bad mind. So like, you can't invite all these bad-minded people into your situation. You know, even though you want to do business with people and you want to treat people right and be legit, you get hurt and you still deal with issues when you try to go that route. So either way, I just think that we have to just be resilient, because we've overcome so much. Eventually, we'll be able to overcome this whole group thing coming together. I don't really know when that's going to be. So another thing, fam, think about your lifestyle. What type of lifestyle do you want to live in Africa? You know, you have to know that way before you get there. Like, you really have to study it and understand what type of lifestyle you want to live, because that's going to be the foundation of how you survive. If you trying to live in the suburbs, you have to know that your budget got to be set up differently. Because if you live in the suburbs and near the city, or any kind of busy, bustling city area in Africa, you're going to have other people that's there driving up the cost of living. So, because that's a well-traveled area, that's like a tourist area. But if you're really looking to build a foundation and you want to be outside of the city where it's not super busy yet, and you don't mind being out in nature, you don't mind being in the village, to me personally, I think the village is the best option for us to have peace. If we want to go into the city, we can drive into the city. But for us just establishing ourselves in the country, I think that stay in the suburbs maybe for a few months, but then move your way outside of the city so that you can really start to like build and connect to what you want to, that's just me personally. I don't really know if everybody think like that. Some people told me they're not going on these back roads and getting stuck like I have gotten stuck. My mom and my uncle first came, we got stuck the first time we was going out to the land. I got stuck on a road, on a boat up by myself in the middle of nowhere. That was not but the Most High, because I like hit this root on the road. Some kind of root was sticking up. It got underneath the bike. It caused me to kind of flip off the bike. I don't think I ever even told that story, because I really never really told my wife that happened. So now she knows. So yes, I flipped my bike one time on the back road, and some kind of brake line or something broke, and I had to push the bike probably like 2 miles until I was able to get to a Shamba farm, and then I was able to get some help. I waited for like 3 hours probably for somebody to come, but eventually the guys that was working on the land, they were able to reconnect the brake line or whatever for me. We don't even know if that was a brake line or the gear shift, but somehow it broke. But anyways, yeah, fam. So why should we continue to move and travel to Africa? For one, if we want to build a foundation, and if we want to build something as a people, because African American people, where do we even have to go? Some of us say we want to go to Jamaica, we want to go to Haiti, we want to go to different places, but a lot of Jamaicans, Haitians, all those people are going to Africa. So I don't know what y'all talking about. That's not where it's at. It's the motherland. That's where everybody's going. So if you want to build a future, our future is in Africa. Some people don't agree. Some black people, our African American people, believe that their future is here. Eventually, our status is going to change, but I believe Massa is going to burn the house down before they allow us to get anything from here other than maybe the wealth that we're promised. But they're not going to let us come here and just run the country. I know, man. Shalom. Man, I wish. She actually, my mom just called me. I know she probably finna be mad because I didn't answer, but I'm about to call her back. Actually, me and my mom's supposed to do a live. We've been saying we're gonna do a live together, and I know y'all want to hear from her, so I'm gonna put that together. She's gonna be on part 2, and I'll make sure I get her to sit down with me. So she may be able to sit down with me this evening. So fam, look out for part 2. If she can't, then we'll do it tomorrow. So another thing I want to say with lifestyle. So don't forget number one. Number one is we want to build a future. So that's one reason why we should continue to travel and move to Africa. Lifestyle. We want to live a better lifestyle. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, these stresses that we deal with here and the chemicals, like Sister Georgetta mentioned, the food is poison here. Like literally, I'm drinking poison probably right now. I don't know. I just like a little flavor sometimes in the afternoon. But my students, they always push for me to talk to them about the food. They always see me drinking teas, and they like, what is that green crap you drinking? What do you eat? And I always tell them why I eat the way I eat, and they just like, well, it tastes disgusting, And I'm like, you gotta look at the bigger picture. Like it's better things to eat. You don't have to always eat bad. And they see me eat junk food. I eat some candy. I eat mints every now and then, but the food is poison. So in Africa, the lifestyle is way better. Like for one, you're gonna deal with a different level of peace. Now, some people's definition of peace is different, but for me, peace is like being able to walk down the street and not worry about being bust over my head, or like I'm gonna go to the store and people that I'm giving my money to is gonna treat me badly and they're gonna hate me, for whatever reason. I ain't trying to play the victim or whatever, but that's just our reality. Like we got people who legit hate us for just how we look. And in Africa, you don't deal with that. They may know you're American, but they're not gonna hate you for, being African American. But anyways, health. I believe that for a person that has practiced good health, habits, healthy habits here in America, when you go to Africa, you're just gonna build up on that. I do believe that it's important that you get connected with a good hospital and a good doctor when you're in Africa, because if you do get sick, you do want to make sure you can get the help you need. So I ain't, by all means, I ain't telling nobody who got like health conditions now, to just go and it's gonna heal you. Like I don't know, I don't really know if that's gonna like happen right away, but you gotta gauge and do your research. Right? A deeper sense of belonging. Now I don't even know why I put this because I feel like that is the bigger picture, anyways. Like if that is the land that our ancestors, our biblical ancestors and forefathers have walked and grazed and like worked, that's the land that I want to be on. That's the land that I want to walk on. So to me, I think that sense of belonging, I do feel like I belong in East Africa when I'm there. Even when I was in like traveling throughout the airport, it's just a different presence and a different vibe. Like you don't deal with the stuff that you deal with here. You can tell that you dealing with different people, whole different culture, a whole different mindset. So I don't know, man. Y'all can have these European countries if y'all want to do it. I mean, to each his own. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So I want to read 2 Corinthians 5 and 7. Most of y'all already know this. For we walk by faith and not sight. So if you're looking at all the issues, you're looking at the laws that different presidents in African countries are passing, and you looking at that as a reason why you should not be traveling and moving there, then you already cutting your legs off. You cutting yourself, and you got to stop looking at that. You have to just look past that. You got to look at the future. One of my followers here told me about a dream they had, and it was a beautiful dream, and I believe that that dream can definitely come true, but we have to do the work and do the studying, and we just can't be trusting everybody. You got to get on the land. That's one reason why you have to travel. You have to travel there a few times before you move, because you can't blindly go into situations. You can't uproot your whole family and not know what you uprooting them to go into. Now, I say it faith now, but the Most High do require us to do a little planning and, pray about it. So you write it down, you make it plain, you pray about it, and then, move with your ruach and what it tell you to do. Fam, that's all I got. So I'm not gonna waste too much more of your time because I gotta get out of here anyways. But y'all bless, fam. I hope that this talk helped you. Also, something I want to mention, man. I just real quick, because I keep putting my hand up and I'm thinking about it. I'm just so insecure about it because I'm like, dang, like my hands like been like messed up. But I know it's a lot to do with the food here. But like I grew up having eczema kind of bad or whatever, but it was never like crazy, other than like on my arms and sometimes on my hands. But I know a lot of people say it's like from parasites, and then some people say it's from food, and I'm just super allergic to everything. Anything get on my skin, I break out. So I didn't start having issues with my eczema again until I got back here. Like in Tanzania, everything cleared up, like everything, like nothing. Like even we was using water that wasn't necessarily filtered or treated or whatever, and I never had any issues. I was out there like chopping in the bush, and I never got any like rashes from anything. I get back here a week and my skin is like messed up. My skin was messed up and it's still messed up now. Like I'm dealing with it right now. So it's super frustrating to be back here and have to deal with all this, man. Like my wife, like we got gloves now. So when I wash dishes, I don't have to like get the soap and stuff on my hands. Stuff here, like at school, I have to do labs all day with my students, and I have to constantly wash my hands in the water and use soap. Like, I don't know, fam, if y'all can recommend something that I can use, that would be nice. Y'all can like put it in the comments, because I'm really struggling with that. And I was trying to like keep my hand out of the camera because it's very frustrating. But yeah, to be here in America is it's rough. And people see it as complaining, and I pray that the Most I understand, like I'm not complaining at all. I'm just like stating the facts. And we deal with more stress, like African American people, we deal with more here than we would ever deal with in Africa. So don't believe any of the mess. Don't get into any of these investment schools, academies, these things that people hosting online. Go to the country, have them show you some of the things that they're building on the ground. Have you some of the projects that they're working on. If they can't show you anything, don't deal with them. I'm telling you, because in Africa, it requires you to have a brick and mortar, something brick and mortar. All right, you must have something brick and mortar. So don't get caught up in this YouTube hype, because these people are something else. They are snakes. So some of my followers who met me in person, some of them have seen the projects that we're working on, and they know that like we're serious about our business. So, and it's a blessing. But y'all bless, fam. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out of here before I start talking about something else. But y'all, I am gonna try to call my mom and see if I can get Sister Betty on here for y'all. Y'all bless.